So you got your leads and you're wondering what are you going to do next? The next step in email marketing is to nurture your leads and then convert them into customers. How do you do that? Well, it's actually pretty easy. Nurturing leads means building a relationship so that they like and trust you, because people who like and trust you will buy from you. And that's what customers are. Customers are people who like and trust you, and they think of you as the authority in whatever field or whatever industry that you're in, and they will buy from you because they have the confidence that you know what you're doing. In order to do that, you have to build trust, build a relationship. In order to do that through email, you need to send them emails. A while back, I was in a bookstore. It's one of those big bookstores with lots of books, big shelves, big areas, different areas. I was in the business section looking at some business books. There are hundreds of them on shelves, anything from sales to marketing to business strategy. As I was scanning the shelf, I looked down at the bottom right corner, and I noticed this one word that kind of stood out to me from everything else. It said .com. It piqued my interest. I looked down, and then my eyes naturally followed the word, and I read the second word that followed the first one. It said secrets. The book was .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. At first, I thought of it as some book that helps you, build your websites or teaches you how to build websites, and I almost ignored it. But then curiosity got me, so I picked up the book and read the subheadline. And it said that it's the book, it helps you, actually I have it right here, for the underground playbook for growing your company online with sales funnels. Interesting. I was actually building a sales funnel for one of my products, and I needed some help. So I picked up the book and bought it, and I finished reading half of it by the end of that day. And it changed everything. See, at the time, I was struggling to make sales. I had this interview course that I was trying to sell as part of my business that I was helping professionals get better, and I wasn't doing too well. I had a decent list, close to 10,000 people, but I wasn't really selling anything to them. After reading the book, I learned about the different parts of the sales funnel and all the different things, but the one thing that really stood out to me was the soap opera sequences that you want to run after you get somebody as a lead into your list. And the soap opera sequence was very simple. It was a 5-day email that built a relationship with your lead through a storytelling process. And the storytelling was a 5-day sequence that started with the beginning, day 1, where it kind of set the stage. Day 2 talked about the backstory, the problem that you were trying to address. Day 3 talked about the epiphany that you would have about how to solve the problem. Day 4 introduced the product, saying, well, this is the product that I built out to solve this problem through my epiphany, and also listed the benefits that this product might have had. And then day 5, it was the ask, the urgency. Hey, if you want this product, I have it on sale, or it's a limited quantity, or whatever it may be. Click here to get it now. So this 5-day sequence, 5-day email sequence, built a relationship with the lead enough so that if the lead was actually interested and had the problem that you were trying to solve, the person would be maybe curious enough to click through and then go to your sales page and then buy your product or service or whatever it may be. Once I've internalized this 5-day structure, I thought the world has become a much brighter, much happier place, because I put the sequence into practice, and I set up my 5-day sequence. I talked about the time that I had to do the interview and how I bombed the interview because I didn't really know how to answer questions, and even though I was prepared, I didn't really know how to talk during the interview. I talked about the epiphany that I had, actually the epiphany that somebody else helped me have during the interview process. And then I talked about the product that I created to help me and solve my interview issues and how successful I was after I created this solution for myself, and then I turned it into product later on. And here's the product. If you want it, go ahead and get it now. It's an interview preparation guide playbook that you can just get for $49. Very easy. And by day 5, there will be 2 links. Day 4 you would have a link to buy, and day 5 would be the urgency to buy the product. So by day 5, if you were having an interview and you weren't sure about whether you're going to succeed at an interview, whether how to answer questions, which questions to prepare for, you were more than likely to even just click onto the sales page, and then the job of actually selling would be part of the sales page job. So the nurturing part of the email marketing is to get the lead to think of you as the authority on the problem and the solution, or whatever subject, whatever that you're trying to sell. So once they think of you as the authority on that, you've built that relationship, then you pass them on to your sales page, or your sales call, if that's how you're doing your sales, and that's where you actually sell the product. But they've already come in to the sales page not as a cold prospect who doesn't know anything about you, who you are, whether you actually know what you're doing. They're coming into the sales page as an extremely warm lead who already has an idea of who you are, how you solve the problem, and whether they're more likely to buy your product or not. So that's the nurture part of the email sequence. As I've progressed, as I've learned how to do email marketing, I've expanded my email sequence to be a 27-day email sequence. Of course, you can't tell many stories. One can hear a story over 27 emails. There has to be many different parts of the email sequence that you want to kind of talk about. What I did was I set up groups of emails that kind of take you through different stages to the end result being my LinkedIn profile optimization course. And those 27 emails will take you from not knowing who I am to seeing me as an authority on this particular subject with knowledge in other areas. The 27 email sequence is the next step in your progression. I would be doing you a disservice if I were to tell you to start with the 27 email sequence, because it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of thinking. You need to get good at writing, you need to think kind of longer term. So if you're just starting out, writing 27 emails will be extremely difficult and will likely cause you to just stop. So this 5-day email sequence that Russell Brunson talks about in his book .com Secrets is the perfect email sequence to start with, to start nurturing the leads. So let me rehash this quickly. So it's a 5-day email sequence. Day 1, you want to set the stage. Where you're gonna tell your lead what to expect over the next 4 emails, what you are going to talk about. So you're pre-framing them. Day 2, you're going to talk about your backstory of the problem that you're trying to solve, how you had that problem and how much it cost you, what were the stakes. Day 3, you're going to talk about the epiphany that you may have had or somebody else may have helped you have, and how you solved that problem with that epiphany. Here you can introduce the product if you want to. Day 4 is where you absolutely have to introduce the product, and where you're going to talk about, well, this is the product that I built based on the solution, the epiphany that I had to the problem that I had. And then you also will talk about the hidden benefits, additional benefits that your product will give to the lead, to the prospective customer. In day 5, you want to close by asking them to buy because you have a limited supply, or the sale is only limited. You get the discount only now until the next day, or whatever it may be. You want to call them to give them the reason to buy. Set up urgency in that. So that's the 5-day sequence. And then if they buy, great. If they don't buy, that means they weren't interested, they didn't have the problem yet. So maybe you can put them in another email sequence later on to kind of keep them warm for a bit, and if they come across this problem, they might come back to you and then buy from you. So the next step after nurturing is to link to the sales page, and that's where you convert the prospect, the lead rather, into a customer by offering them the product and convincing them that that's the right product to solve their problem. And I will talk about that in the next video. If you want the roadmap to get your first 1,000 leads in 30 days or maybe less, check out the link below and download my lead magnet. I will see you next time.